Hello everyone, I'm Alicia. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you a heart design that you can use for a bracelet, anklet, and also a choker. I have to tell you guys, I've worked so hard trying to figure out how I can make a heart bracelet. I've done it so many different ways, and finally on my fourth try, this is the design that I created. Some of the problems I had was the hearts didn't really look like hearts. I had to make them bigger, and when I did, a lot of them had holes in it, and I didn't want my hearts to have holes. I wanted them to look really solid, and I just wanted a continuous stitch. I didn't want to make the bracelet and then go back and add more beads to it. I wanted it to just be one direction and we're done. So this is the pattern I came up with. The red beads are my hearts, of course, and in between I have these purple beads, which to me kind of looks like lace in between. And in this one, I did two color hearts. I have a AB red heart, and a purple silver lined heart, and a creamy bead. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy this tutorial. Let's get started. Here is the list of materials you will need to make a bracelet, anklet, and a choker. For a bracelet, you will need 4 feet of 6-pound or 8-pound fireline, and you will leave an 8-inch tail. For an anklet, you will need 5 feet of 6-pound or 8-pound fireline, and you're also going to leave an 8-inch tail. For a choker, you will need 8 feet of 6-pound or 8-pound fireline, and you're also going to leave an 8-inch tail. So for all three, bracelet, anklet, and choker, you will leave 8-inch tails. You're going to need the 8-inch tail to tie knots and weave back into your work. You're going to need seed beads, and you can use different sizes. For this bracelet and this anklet, I used 10-0 seed beads. You can also use 11-0 seed beads, and you can use 8-0 seed beads. These here are 8-0 seed beads. I'm sure you can also do this in 6-0 seed beads, but it's going to be really big. You're going to need a size 10 beading needle, a lobster claw clasp, and 2 split rings or jump rings. I'm using split rings because they're stronger and they don't jump open and lose your anklet or your bracelet, so they're a lot stronger. All the materials and everything you're going to need to make the bracelet, anklet, or the choker will be in a description bar below this video, so just look down there below the video and you're going to see everything you need in writing. To demonstrate how to do this, I will be using 8-0 seed beads because they're larger and easier to see than the 11 and 10-0 seed beads. My color pattern is going to be a purple heart, and then I'm going to have white to divide my hearts, and the next heart will be red. So purple heart, red heart, purple heart, red heart, and it's going to be repeating. The first thing I'm going to do is pick up 6 seed beads of the same color. So here's 6, and I'm going to slide them down, and I'm going to go back through my first seed bead in this direction. So it looks like this. Make sure that you measure your tail and that it's 8 inches long, because if it's not exact the end, when we get to the end, and if you have a lot of thread at the beginning here, you're gonna run into problems. So make sure that you measure your tail. So now that I have 6 seed beads, I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads of the same color, and right here I'm going to go through this bead. Pull the needle through, and here is half of our heart. Now I have to pick up 4 seed beads of the same color. Right here, this seed bead I'm going to go through. So I'm skipping the one here that I'm coming out of, and I'm going through this one. It helps a lot to keep it tight when you hold your work that you're going through between your fingers. So right now it's a little loose, and all we have to do is push the threads up to straighten it out. So here is our first heart. I think it looks better with the smaller seed beads, with the 11-0s and 10-0s, than it does with the larger ones. Okay, so now that we have our first heart, I'm going to make the spot in between our hearts that separates them. I'm going to pick up 4 of these. Now right here, I'm exiting out of this seed bead. I'm going to skip this one and go through this one. So put your fingers over it like this and hold it in place so it doesn't unravel, and tighten it up. A huge part of making this is keeping it tight so your hearts look nice. So I'm constantly tightening it up so it looks good. So now we have this. Now I'm going to pick up 1 white and the color of my next heart. So my next heart is going to be red, and then 1 white. So 3 beads. Right here we're coming out of this purple bead. I'm going to skip over this white bead and go through the next white bead. So this one. And hold the work between my fingers and pull the thread through. Now again, I'm going to tighten it up, and this is what it looks like. So again, hold the work between your fingers like this. Next I'm going to pick up 2 white seed beads and 2 red, and I'm going to go through this red bead right here, through the bottom of it. Just like this. So hold it between your fingers so it doesn't get loose, and pull the needle through. So this is what it looks like. Here's part of our heart. If you have thread like this getting loose, what you do is you pull this part here, it tightens that up, and then you pull your working thread. So just like this. That's how I tighten my work up. So again, hold it between your fingers so the thread is nice and tight. And I'm going to pick up more of the same color of my heart. So this time I'm going to pick up 3 red. So here are my 3 reds here already. I'm going to go through the red on the bottom in this direction. Hold it between your fingers. Pull it through. Tighten it up. And now we have half of our heart. So hold this between your fingers again. Make sure the thread is tight. And this time I'm going to pick up 2 seed beads, red. And I'm coming out of this one, and now I'm going to go through the bottom of this one. So hold it again between your fingers and pull it through. And this is what it looks like. You can pull those points there to make it tighter. And don't worry about this one loosening up so much. We can fix it later on better. So this is what we have now. Now I have to pick up 4 red seed beads. And I'm coming out the top here, so now I have to go back down through this one. So again, hold it between your fingers and pull the thread through. So here is our second heart. And again, if you need to tighten it up, if you want yours really tight, you can pull this bead first, and then the top one, just like that, and pull this thread with the rest of your hand. So this is what it looks like. So now that this is tight, I'm going to hold this between my fingers and pick up the next color. So the next color I have to do is the white. I'm going to do 4 whites again. Oops. 4. And I'm going to go through this white seed bead, or red seed bead. So we're coming out of this one, I'm skipping this one, and I'm going through the third one. Pull that through. And if this part is still loosening up, just pull this white seed bead, and this with the rest of your hand, pull this and the white one at the same time, and there you go, your heart is straightened out. So hold this tight in your fingers, and now I have to pick up 1 white in my next color of my heart. So my next heart is purple, and then I'm going to pick up another white, just like this. Now I'm going to go through this white seed bead. So I'm coming out of this red, skipping a white, and going through the second white. Just like this. Hold it between your fingers. And this is what it looks like. Now I have to pick up 2 more. So at this point, you can look back at your work and see what you have to do next. So right here is where we're at. Right here is where we're at. And if you look back, this is the spot that we're at. So the next thing I have to do is pick up 2 white seed beads and 2 red seed beads, or 2 purple seed beads, excuse me. So 2 white and 2 colors of my heart. And now I'm going to go through this purple one. Pull it through. Straighten this up. This is what it looks like. If this is loose up in here, remember to pull the bottom and then pull your working thread. And that's what it looks like. So again, hold this between your fingers and pick up 3 seed beads of the color of heart you're working on. I already have 3 here. I'm going to go down the 3rd purple one. Pull your thread all the way through, and now I'm going to pick up 2 purples, skip this bead that I'm coming out of, and go through the next purple. Just like this, and pull your needle through. Now it's a little loose, so I have to tighten it up. I'm going to tighten it up from back here because this is loosening up. So first I'm going to pull this, and then I'm going to pull this. So I'm going to go just like this, pulling them kind of like shoelaces, tightening up the work. Okay, so my work's all tightened up, and now I'm ready to move on. So exiting out of here, I have to pick up 4 seed beads. And if you look back, right here is where we're at in the red one. I have to pick up 4 more. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to go down through this bead. So it would be this bead we're going to go down next after we pick up the 4. So pick up 4. And then right here, I'm going to go down through this one. Hold it between your fingers and pull it through. This is what it looks like. Now I'm going to do the white again, and I have to do 4 whites. I'm going to go through this purple one, so I'm coming out of here, I'm skipping this one, and I'm going through this one. Now I'm going to tighten it up. Wrap this around your fingers. Pull this white seed bead because you're tightening up this area, and then pull the purple. So now it's tightened up. Now I'm going to hold this again between my fingers, pick up 1 white and the color of my next heart. So after purple is our red heart, and then another white. So exiting out of this purple one, I'm skipping this white, and I'm going to go through the second white. Hold it between your fingers and pull it through. It does help if you pull the string instead of this direction and this direction to tighten it up. Hold it between your fingers again. And like I said, if you're having trouble, you can just look back at what you've already done. So right here, this is where I'm at. If you look back, this is where we're at in this spot. So the next thing we have to do is pick up 2 white beads and 2 red. 2 white, 2 red, and then I'm coming out the bottom of this one, so I have to go up to the top, or up to the bottom of the red bead that's at the top. Pull it through. It's a little loose right there, so I'm going to tighten it up by pulling these white beads and then pulling my working thread. Now I'm going to hold this between my fingers and pick up 3 red seed beads. So here's the 3 I already have. I'm coming out the top of this red one, and I have to go back down. So I'm going to go down this one, the 3rd red one, pull it through, and now we have this. Now I'm going to pick up 2 red seed beads and go up to the bottom of this one right here. So out of this one, through this one, and pull it through. Now it looks like this. So now I have to pick up 4 red seed beads. So again, to look back at our work, right here we're exiting out of this center seed bead in our heart. So here's the center one. The next, what we have to do is pick up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm going to go down through this one. So pick up 4 and go down through this one. 4 reds, and then down through this one. So hold it between your fingers and pull it through. And pull it tight, and this is what it looks like. If yours is loose, you can tighten up by pulling this one first and then this one. Now hold this again between your fingers, and the next thing we have to do is pick up our white again. And every time after we finish a heart, we have to pick up 4 whites. So here are my 4 whites, and I'm exiting out of this red seed bead. I'm going to skip this red one and go through this one. Now I'm going to pick up 1 white, the color of my next heart, which is purple, and 1 white. Exiting out of this red, I'm going to skip this white and go down through this one. So hold this between your fingers and pull it through. Now we have this. I'm going to pick up 2 more whites, because if you look back, this is where we're at, and we need 2 more whites, and then I have to pick up 2 purples. And I'm going to go through this purple one. How I remember the part here where I start doing the color of my new heart is first I have 1 purple, then I pick up 2. Because when I first started doing this, I was getting confused, and I couldn't remember, did I pick up 2, did I pick up 3? So what I do is I pick up 1, I pick up 2, and now I have to pick up 3. So 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to go through this 3rd seed bead. So pick up 3 and go through this one right here, going down. So that's how I remember that. 1, 2, 3. Tighten it up if you need to. So once we do the 1, 2, and 3, now I have to do 2, 4. So 2 purples, go up through the bottom of this one, hold it between your fingers, and now 4. Here's our 4. So coming out of this one, I'm going to go down through this one right here. Hold it between your fingers and pull it through. Again, if you see any thread, that means you need to tighten it up. Okay, so mine's tightened up. Now I'm going to hold it again between my fingers and start the white again. And every time we finish a heart, we have to pick up 4 white seed beads. Coming out of here, I'm skipping a red one, or a purple one, and I'm going through this purple one. So pull it through. Now I have to pick up 1 purple in the color of my next heart, which is red, and then a white. So out of this purple, I'm skipping a white, and I'm going to go through the 2nd white. Pull this tight. Now hold it between your fingers, and remember, if you look back, you can see what you have to do next. So I'm exiting here. This is where I'm at in this place. I have to pick up 2 white seed beads, and then 2 colors of my next heart, which is red. 2 whites and 2 red. I'm coming out of this white seed bead, I'm skipping the next white, and I'm going to go up to the bottom of this red one. So pull that through. So there's our 1 red, 2 reds, and now 3. So coming out of the top of this, I'm skipping the next red, and I'm going to go through the 3rd with my 3 seed beads and pull it through. Now I have to tighten it up by pulling these seed beads just like this. Hold it again between my fingers, and I'm going to pick up 2 red seed beads. Exiting out the bottom, I'm going to go up through this red one, hold it between my fingers, and pull it through. Now I have to pick up 4 more red. Coming out the top, I have to go down through this red, just like this. So again, hold it between your fingers and pull it through. If you need to, tighten it up. I always tighten mine up because I want mine to look really nice. So on the heart, you could see that we have these 2 seed beads here on each heart. There's 2 right here, and there's 2 here. If they're sticking out strange, what I do is I push this one, these 2 here in the center down, like that, and it looks more like a heart. So when I'm straightening out the work, I don't pull on this heart, this bead, towards the center, I pull on the corner one. So pull on the corner one in the bottom of your heart, just like this, to straighten out your hearts. Now hold it again between your fingers, and we have to pick up 4 white seed beads. So I'm going to do this one more time, and then I'm going to stop. So here's 4. I'm coming out this red one, and I'm going to go up through the bottom of this one. So hold it between your fingers and pull it through. Again, if you need to, tighten it up. Okay. Hold it between your fingers and pick up 3 beads. 1 white, the color of your next heart, and 1 white. Exiting out of this red, I'm skipping a white, and I'm going to go down through this one. Pull it through. Now I have to pick up 2 more whites, 2 colors, or 2 beads of the next color of my heart. So after red is purple. Now I have to go through this purple one. So coming out of this bead, skipping this one, I'm going to go up to the bottom of this purple. Pull it through. If you need to, if you could see loose threads there, then you need to tighten it up. So just like this, and tighten it up. Now again, hold it between your fingers and continue on. So there's 3 purple here. Now I have to pick up 3 purple. Exiting at the top, I'm going to skip the next purple and go down through the 3rd one. Just like this. Now I'm going to pick up 2 purples. Exiting at the bottom, I'm going to go up through this one. Now I'm here, and I have to pick up 4. So exiting out of this one, I'm going to go down through here. Now I'm going to tighten this up. Tighten it up by wrapping this around your fingers, pulling the points of your heart, so this bead and this one, just like this. So I'm going to stop here. This should be enough. If you have any more problems, go back and rewind the video. I would continue on and do more, but I don't have enough time, so just rewind the video if you're having trouble and watch it again. And remember that you can continue on just by looking back at what you already did to see what you have to pick up. So keep on going until you get to the length of the bracelet, anklet, or the choker, whatever you want to make. So once you get to the length you need, then we're ready to add the clasp. But before we go any further, I want to make sure that none of your beads fell off your end, so make sure that you still have a full heart. And if it's loose, pull the string and tighten it up. And on our working side, if that's loose, tighten it up too. This is what it's going to look like when we're done, when I put the loop on and the clasp. I'm using split rings, so I have to pick the split rings up when I pick the seed beads up, but if you're using jump rings, you could just go ahead and pick up your seed beads and make your loop, and then once you're done, you can later on open up the jump ring and put it on. So once it's pulled tight, then we're ready to pick up our seed beads. I'm going to pick up 5 seed beads, and I'm doing the same colors here. The color that's splitting up our hearts, I'm doing the purple. So 5 seed beads, part of our clasp, and we're Xing out of this seed bead here. So normally I would pick up 4 seed beads and I would go through this seed bead in this direction. But this time I'm finishing our bracelet, so I have to go through 3 seed beads. So I'm going to go through these 3 seed beads just like this, hold it between my fingers, and pull the needle through. Just like this. Mine loosened up a little bit, so I'm just going to tighten it up by pulling it there. And now I have to take the needle, go through this 1 seed bead here at the point of our heart. Then I'm going to go through these seed beads here, these 3. And if I can, I'll try to go through this top one. So through all 4 right here. Pull it through, pull it tight. Now I'm going to pick up 1 seed bead and I'm going to fill this gap in right here. So pick up 1 and go through these purple seed beads and your clasp. So it fills in this little hole. I have to go through these 3. Pick up 1 more. And right here I have to go through the point of my heart. Go through there. And that seed bead we just picked up is going to fill in this gap. Now I'm going to reinforce it again. So I'm going to go through all 4 of these red seed beads. Pull it through. Make sure you're pulling it tight. Then I'm going to go through all the purple seed beads again and through the clasp. I'm going to have to go down through these 5 and through this red one. Now I'm ready to tie half hitch knot. So now I'm going to do the knots, and it's important that we follow our old thread paths, because if we go through a bead that is not what we've been through before, our bracelet's going to pull in a weird way. So right now I'm exiting out of this bead. So if I was to go straight through this purple bead, that is not following our thread paths. We haven't gone through there, so that's going to pull these beads down, and it's not going to look nice. It's going to look like it's messed up. So I have to follow my old thread paths. So I'm exiting out of here, and I'm not going to tie a knot here, because if I do, it'll be seen. So I'm going to take my needle through this bead, pull it through here. I'm going to tie a knot right here. On this bracelet, I've been tying my knots in the middle of my work. So what I do is I take my needle and I'll go through here, and I'll just catch this thread right here in the middle. So pull it through, and you'll have a loop. Go through the loop twice. Make sure that your knot's going to fall where you want it to, and then pull the knot down. Pull it tight. So my knot's right here. Now I'm going to go through this seed bead and through this one, and that's going to hide my knot. So through these 2, pull it, and my knot disappeared. Now I'm going to go through this one. I can't tie a knot here, it'll be seen. I'm going to go down through one here, and now I can tie a knot right here. So I'm going to go under here through this hole and try to go out through the heart right here. So I'm catching the thread here, pull this through, make a loop, go through the loop twice, Make sure that it's going to fall where you need it to. Sometimes when you're pulling the thread to tie a knot, you'll have extra thread and it's going to be a messy knot. So I just take the needle and I put it through the loop and I pull it and it straightens the knot up, and then I can slowly slide it down. I'm going to pull it down. So my knot's right here in this bead. I'm going to go through this one, pull it through, and I'm going to tie a knot here since my knot is more inside of that bead. So go under these beads, just like this, make a loop, and go through it twice. And pull it down. Go down this bead, go through this one, through this one, and now I'm going to tie another knot here. So keep on going, following your old thread paths. Don't make any new ones. So like what I said earlier, there's no thread that's going this way. It's going this way up here, and it's going back down. So make sure you follow your old thread paths. Now, if you tie knots here, it'll be seen in these spaces. But if you're in a spot like down here between these purple beads, you could tie knots in between these and they won't be seen. But up here it's kind of in a corner, so the knots will be seen. So keep going, tying as many knots as you can. I really do try to use up all my thread and tying my knots, and doing that really does make your bracelet stronger, and it's going to last a lot longer. And remember, don't cut your thread at the knots. You want to at least go through a few beads before you cut your thread. So now you have to do the same thing that we did to this side by adding the seed beads in your clasp to this side. So go ahead and finish knotting here and then do this side. This is it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please like this video, leave me a comment, subscribe if you want to see more videos, and follow me on Facebook. And don't forget to share pictures of the things you've made for my tutorials on Facebook. Thanks for watching.